Afternoon everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first video. I'm going to have a look at where the next week 10 days start off with in today's video very quickly, and then we'll also have a look at the month ahead with FSV2 a bit late with today's update. Tonight we'll be doing the third update for the Glastonbury Festival, having a detailed look at the Glastonbury period. This video goes just into the start of the Glastonbury Festival, but tonight we'll have a detailed look at the whole period. Before I get on with all of that, let's just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through the widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you are interested in. And thanks very much for doing that. There's video ads on most of the pages, which own content when you watch them close back up again. Helps to pay for gasweapons.com. So we'll start with the radar pitch, I think. Got more lively weather coming up this afternoon. Here we go from the weatheroutlook.com. Got two areas of precipitation, quite a massive general rain across eastern parts of Scotland, and then these heavy thundery showers through Ireland, Wales and England. And you see there's some very, very vibrant colours in with those showers, indicate some real downpours now getting going through parts of Wales into the Midlands, into some east and southeastern parts of the country. Let's have a quick look at the lightning detector, see if there's any lightning flashing away, and quite a bit. I did say that we're likely to see a resurgence in lightning today after having a quieter day of it. Yes, it wasn't as much lightning and thunder around yesterday, but I said on Stormwatch, which we did on Sunday, but it's likely that the lightning will come back today, and it's sparking off again. It's through Wales and Midlands into some parts of East Anglia and perhaps into South East England as well. And there could be more lightning and thunder storms breaking out in this area through the course of this afternoon. So there are going to be some big downpours again today, as you can see from the radar picture, that there is vibrant colours in there. So there will be torrential bursts of rain in places, giving flash flooding. The roads will be awash in places. If you're out driving about, do take it easy if you come across one of these downpours. I've got a drier slot across the northern England at the moment. I think there could be some showers getting going there, though, later on this afternoon. So let's have a look at weather the next week to 10 days. We'll start off with the GFS ensembles. So the red line here is the 30-year temperature average, and you can see that most members of the ensemble are around average at the moment. We actually go a bit cooler than average over the weekend. We are going to get a bit of a northerly shot on Friday and lasting into Saturday when it does turn quite a bit cooler. Member temperatures will recover into the start of next week, but we only go back up towards average. There's no sign of anything really hot coming up there into next week. Precipitation, we've got regular rainfall spikes on the bottom of the chart coming through the rest of this week. That's a lot of heavy showers, possibly thunderstorms in place as well. Bit drier over weekend, but into next week it looks like we bring more showery bursts of rain through. And of course next week you have to think a little bit about the Glastonbury Festival, of course. Also the referendum will be taking place a week on Thursday. Everybody will be getting out to vote on that day, 23rd of June, and there are precipitation spikes around this period, so doesn't look like it's going to be completely dry into next week by any means. You wouldn't say it's a desperately wet period, but it does look like it's going to be staying at the very least a little bit on the showery side. Let's have a look at the generic charts. This is the GFS for Saturday. We're bringing down this cool northerly flow as the Azores High tries to build out to the west of the country. That will reach through the country into Sunday. So I think we're going to have a lot of dry weather coming up this weekend. After a chilly start, the temperatures will stage a bit of a recovery, so only get back towards average. Although by the time you go through to the end of the weekend and start of next week, low pressure is beginning to be knocking on the door of Western Scotland and Northern Ireland. So by the end of Sunday, there could be some cloud and rain spreading into Scotland and Northern Ireland, but still really under this ridge to start next week through most parts of the country. Tuesday finds that ridge flattening off a little bit as some showery rain comes in to the north and the west. And then on Wednesday, we keep a ridge close to the south, giving a lot of dry weather going there, but further showers likely in the north and west. And then into towards day 10, which is Friday, the 24th of June, this latest run of a GFS, which is chopping and changing from run to run, so it's making predicting Glastonbury particularly very difficult, but the latest idea is to begin to pull this high pressure a little bit out in towards the Atlantic and start to turn the winds into the northwest, and that begins to turn things rather cooler and rather more showery into the north and the west of the country in particular. Maybe even bring some showers down into the south. But we'll worry about Glastonbury tonight. Having a look at the E70F, again, we've got that northerly flow on Saturday with ridging out to the west. Ridge builds nicely over the country on Sunday. It'll be a fairly decent weekend for many of us, I would think. Ridge is still hanging on across England and Wales anyway on Monday. Scotland and Northern Ireland turning a little bit more unsettled. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, into the latter stages of next week, finds low pressure gradually starting to spread back in from the north and west. So that does look a little bit disappointing as we're thinking about those days on Thursday, the referendum, on Friday, the start of Glastonbury. That does look a little bit disappointing with risk of showers beginning to move down from the northwest, maybe some cooler temperatures as well. But it is very much chopping and changing next week, so it's not a done deal yet by any means. Just have a look at CFSV2 for the next month before we go. So we're going to have a look at 500 millibar high dominance broken down into weekly periods. The first week period is the 14th through to the 20th of June. We find a ridge up to the north and out to the west. This is coming week, of course, with trough of low pressure to the south and the east of the country. The flow's going a little bit like that, so it is quite unsettled, quite changeable, and a little bit on the cool side as well. We go through into week 2, which is the 21st through the 27th. This is when we've got all these events taking place, of course, and not great, really. The trough is being centred right over top of the country. The ridge in Azores Eye is a long, long way away from us, not able to do anything for us at all. There is a ridge over Scandinavia, that's not much help either. We're more or less bringing the jet stream right through the country, a bit like that. So that is a bit alarming for the end of the month period. Now you get through to the very end of the month, the start of July. This is the week of the 28th through to the 4th of July. And that ridge to the northeast begins to exert its influence then. It's strengthening across Scandinavia and turning winds into the east. Those would be quite hot winds moving in from the east. Easterlies in the summer are going to be pretty hot. The continent very rapidly warms up, of course, so that could bring some hot air off the continent for the start of July. And that's maintained, really, as we go through to the 5th through to the 11th of July. Still that high pressure's in there over Scandinavia, dominated where it would be very dry. And also bringing in those east winds, which would be pretty hot, I think, with the air originating from Central Europe. So, well, a little bit early to be thinking about a heat wave for July, but the potential is there anyway. If high pressure gets going over Scandinavia in July or August, it can be really quite hot indeed. So we'll think about that in a week or two. But going back to the nearer time frame, it's looking unsettled for the next week, certainly. We're going to get a drier slot over weekend, then probably back to more showery conditions early next week. And then, of course, that takes us to the end of next week, which is thinking about the referendum and also thinking about Glastonbury. And Tour of Glastonbury will do the third update for that tonight. So come back for that then. Tomorrow it's a 5-day forecast, and we'll also have the 40-day look ahead with Beijing Climate Centre as well. So come back for that tomorrow. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.